Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick presentation on the political tokens. I think they're gonna pump massively, so it's important to get ready. So I'm not a YouTuber, so I apologize for the sound quality. You probably hear background noise and stuff like that. We're gonna have to deal with it for now. Hopefully, I'll improve over time. So the reason I'm most bullish on the political tokens is that I think the upcoming elections is probably going to be the most important elections uh, since World War II. That's where you got Trump, you got China. A lot of people globally are concerned about where things could go, uh, and Trump is expected to win, right? So I think a lot of anxiety and a lot of enthusiasm for different people, depending on how you feel regarding what's happening. Is all going to converge into epic crypto prices for the category. So, something that's important to consider to understand my thesis is that throughout the prior years, you probably see me posting a lot of Google Trends chart. And what I've noticed over time is that the Google Trends tends to kind of correlate a lot with the price of the underlying asset. And you can check it out yourself using TradingView and Google Trends. Just accessing Google Trends through Google search, it's really easy. And I don't have anything to show you today for that, except I did look at academic research, and they do find a very strong correlation uh, between the price. So if you see, like, for this one, so Chris Tufek, 2013, did an analysis on Google Trends data and strong correlation between price and search engine interest. And it kind of makes sense, right? Like if you're hearing a lot about something, you're probably searching it. If you're searching it, it shows you're thinking about it. And so, is thinking about something more likely to lead you to buy that thing? I think so, right? If you never think about it, it's hard to go, oh, I'm going to go buy Bitcoin, right? So, it kind of makes sense from that angle, but also from another angle, I think if you make money, you're more likely to search Bitcoin because you're going to be wondering when you wake up and every 15 minutes, maybe sometimes during the peak, like, okay, how much money have I made now? Has it gone up more? And you're feeling like you're getting dopamine from that. You feel great. And so you kind of get addicted to looking at the price when it goes up. And the reverse is potentially true when the price is going down. You feel pain and you feel like you don't want to look at the price because you don't want to know how down you are, and you're fearing to be down even more, and you're pushing to later looking at the price, procrastinating, right? So that's why, amongst other things, I really pay attention to it. um, and this article also talked about Trump team altcoins gains, driven up by persistent media presence, right? So advertisement is also a big deal. And I think these elections are going to be the perfect catalyst so that people think about election tokens, buy election tokens. Trump and Biden are definitely going to talk about their plans for crypto. So they're going to legitimize crypto relative to the the other Americans and anyone watching who was probably arguing that crypto was worthless and it would get banned. Well, they'll be talking about crypto this year, and they're going to be saying both sides, I think, that they're going to be ensuring crypto stays and vote for them if they believe in crypto, etc. So it's gonna a lot of skeptics are gonna fall uh, going forward, and these skeptics, which a lot of them are like not used to technology and they don't like technology, maybe they are going to see all these big gains, and they're going to see these ETFs, and then they're going to think, okay, well, now I have a way to invest in this new thing, and now that I know it's going to stay, maybe there's more to it, and maybe I'll take a small position because I don't know technology, but I know enough that it's probably important to diversify into this asset class because now BlackRock is saying so, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's a true catalyst. Another thing is the current bull phase. Like if we were in an absolute bear market throughout the elections, then you would have kind of mixed catalyst, and it would be harder to think there's going to be an epic pump coming up in the coming months. But it's not the case. Wherever you look, we're at the beginning of the second phase of the bull market, and it's going to become parabolic, right? If you look at the stock to flow model, for example, whenever it's red is and going towards yellow, that's where the big upward move is, and we just started, right? And this doesn't seem parabolic, but those who are not familiar with the stock to flow need to know that the scale is exponential here. So uh, even though it's kind of a diminishing line, if you kind of look at the price, it's actually going nuts, right? So that's one thing. Another thing too is if you follow Real Vision and Raoul Paul, you'll see a lot of his charts and how we're, if you look at historical data, on the cusp of a major pump, right? So something worth to think about. Um, Now, another thing, a question that I had thinking about political tokens is how much attention could these tokens get realistically? And to do that, I just started searching through Google Trends, right? Um, so I searched, keywords that I thought would help me understand um, and get me a sense of where things could go. So I searched Joe Biden, Dogecoin, because it was the prior cycle lead meme coin, went up to 90 billion. Some people say 80 billion. I've heard that a lot, but I don't know. Just look at market cap Dogecoin on CoinGecko, and it's kind of going between 100 billion and 80. So let's call it 90-ish. It doesn't stay there for long, obviously, um, but I'll use that number later on. So I just wanted to clarify that. Um, so searching for the Google Trends, uh, turns out the leader, even when Donald Trump lost, it was basically Donald Trump during the election in November, right? So I think that's one sign that, especially the Trump tokens, they're going to go epic. But if you also see, Dogecoin and Elon Musk, I mean, they're nothing during election times, okay, compared to Donald Trump and Joe Biden in this case, right? So as we've seen, attention correlates with price, and the attention is expected to be excessively bigger than Trump and Elon, right? So I'm thinking a lot of people will get surprised when it comes to how much this will pump, right? And this is worldwide, right? I'm not only talking about the US, right? Um, so then I just kind of asked myself, okay, can we maybe try to think about Trump in terms of Dogecoin prior cycle, right? So I kind of downloaded the data set from the website and put it in a spreadsheet, right? Um, then I looked for the highest score for Dogecoin and the highest score for Donald Trump. And it turns out Dogecoin, the yellow column, achieves a 13, and Trump, because it's the benchmark, achieved 100 because nothing got seen more. So nothing could have a score of 100 except him during elections. Hold on, there you go. So that was Trump. Biden, pretty good, 82. So if you compare Trump to Dogecoin, Trump was 7.69. So I love 69 because it's crypto. So it's probably the numbers I'm giving you are probably going to happen. I'm just kidding. But it was this number many times more attracting more eyeballs than Dogecoin, right? As we've seen, Dogecoin 90 billion market cap. So if we were to multiply this interest by the market cap, we get approximately 692 billion in market cap, right? And but this time, what is different? Back then, there was not that many meme tokens, right? But this time, there's like unlimited tokens. So instead of going directly to a single token to try to guess where things could go, I just kind of said, you know what? Let's kind of focus on a theme and say if there's 7 times the market to purchase a meme token during election time, maybe that could be the market cap, but maybe it could be half of it. So I'm going to play with these, and I have no clue what the real number is going to be. I'm trying to make educated guesses, looking back at history, right? Knowing that there's a correlation and knowing that we're going to be in a bull market, things are going to go nuts. But ultimately, I don't know. And this is not financial advice, right? Um, so another thing worth mentioning is if you guys know Crash on Twitter, influencer, showing Brett right now, he claimed that last cycle, the top 5 coins were about 80% of the value of the meme coins, right? So now it's a bit different because now we have like meme categories and it's much different. But I thought let's try to kind of keep the big picture of prior cycle and try to see um, where we can maybe land in terms of estimates. And I said, okay, let's say 80% of the market cap goes to the top 5, right? Trump, MAGA, maybe Dolan Trump on Solana, things like that, whatever. So you'd have potentially half a trillion market cap, right? And this seems really high, but you have to think like most of the bull market, this thing is going to be like a fifth of that. The spike is extremely fast. So you might be at 250 billion, and for a single day you go up 100%, and then that's over, right? So while it seems easy to anchor that this is a big number, um, I think realistically, if that number doesn't stay for that long, and most even miss it completely because they were not paying attention, um, you know, maybe. Um, let's look at current market caps, right? So right now, Bitcoin 1.5 roughly trillion, and Ethereum approaching half a trillion already. So let's say they each pump 100%. You're getting to 4 trillion, right? So is the greatest meme category possibly going to go towards more or less half a trillion? I don't know. Maybe for a very short amount of time, right? So top 5 using this number, maybe we'll get an average of 110 billion, right? If you want to reach 553 billion divided by 5, so they could average that. So maybe one is 150 billion, and many others are under 100 billion. Then, and this is just my educated guess, like in a winner takes most scenario, maybe then the top 25 will get the other 10% of that 100%. And then the bottom 26 to like 100,000 tokens, let's say, in the next 6 months, like you can create those for virtually free on sites like pump.fun. So, whatever that number is, the point is it would be basically mostly worth nothing, um, which is what everyone is saying, right? There's an oversaturation of political tokens, and most of them are going to be worth nothing. Well, yeah, I think it makes sense. So maybe like 90% of the value is in the top 25 because some are in different chains, some are more funny, Some are more serious. Some maybe are more patriotic. So I think it makes sense that they'll like the majority of the market cap will flow through the most original one with the best teams that will happen to have marketed better through skills and luck. Um, and so just to kind of play with these numbers, that's where I get. And let's say this number, like you put half of it, maybe then the total market cap will be 276 billion. So about three times Doge, right? And they'll have an average of a couple tens of billions. And then from the 6th to the 25th, they'll be, single digit billions mostly, averaging maybe 2 billion, who knows. And same thing for these, peanuts, because there's going to be just too many of them. There's going to be a flood of them, right? Because the more they go up, the more people are going to have FOMO, and they're going to say, okay, I can spend $2 on that name that I think is original. Although, like, if that person was full time crypto, he'd notice there's already hundreds of them with that name, and then they'll click the button, and there's the token, and it's worthless, basically, right? So that's kind of how I would like to end this analysis. I think the halving comes every 4 years. The elections come every 4 years, and there's going to be scarcity in terms of how special this event will be because it doesn't happen often. And then as a result, we will see a very short-lived but massive pump, and it's going to surprise a lot of folks. And if you're still investing in low cap political tokens and they're worth a couple millions right now, I think some of them will reach hundreds of millions in market cap. A few of them single digit billions, and then the big leaders, again, very short lived, will have just an epic spike. So hopefully this helped. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like this video. Have a good one.